Hi everyone, this is really just a very quick video just to reiterate what it is we would like you to do at the end of each day. On the research methods module, what we want you to do is to be able to consider where you think you've got up to in terms of your understanding at the end of each of the day-long workshops that we have. To be able to do this and give us a good idea of your level of understanding and where you're up to in your own learning, the idea is to ask you to start off by doing one of two things. Either at the end of a day you would write a series of words that really summarize what you've taken from the day. So the kind of things that you think you've covered over the course of a day. And the idea is that what you're putting in here are the things that you think you've learnt, or the things that have really caught your attention, or things that you've thought about as you've developed your ideas over the course of the day. So you can either do it as a list, or in many ways, preferably, what we would like you to do is to actually have a go at doing some concept mapping. The reason for asking you to think about doing this is that what it allows you to do is to actually think far more clearly, in a sense, how different ideas actually begin to fit together. So what you do is you start sort of saying, well, okay, then research and data, what's the link between the two? Same kind of ideas as we've covered over the course of today. Well, the idea about research and data is that research, if you like, relies on data. You need data to do research, and then all you're doing is putting a sort of a line from one to the other in each case to give us sort of the beginnings of a concept map. Okay, now the idea is that regardless of whether you do it as a list or as a concept map, and if you do concept mapping, I would suggest you don't do it on the computer. The idea is that normally we'll give you 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes at the end of each day to make either a list or a concept map by hand. What we would then like you to do, presuming that you have either a smartphone or a tablet, is to take a photograph of either your list or your concept map so that it's on your phone and available to send to us. But then what we want you to do, and again we'll probably give you time during the sessions, but if we don't have time during the sessions to do it directly afterwards, really, certainly the same day, is that we would then like you to record a voice recording which explains how or what you think you've learnt over the course of the day, what the various things mean and how they fit together. Okay, so the idea is that you then begin to talk about some of the main ideas that we've been covering, explain what they mean, explain why you found them important, and also how you think they fit together. So the idea with the recordings that you do is you actually explain each term, you say why they are important or memorable to you, okay, and then how do they fit together, including how they relate to the work you've done in previous sessions. So the idea is that you're beginning to build your ideas together. You're trying to build essentially a concept map or a mind map of how all the various things that we look at come together over a period of time. Now, if you have a smartphone or a tablet, you should have a voice recorder on there so you can record it very easily. If, however, you don't have a voice recorder, then what you can do, presuming that you have some form of laptop or desktop at home, is that you can instead download a very easy, very simple voice record piece of software, thing called Audacity. And with this you can just download it. It has a Mac version. It's a very simple piece of software. It's quite self-explanatory when you get into it. There is support anyway, and as long as your computer is new enough that it has a built-in mic, then once you start this you can just record it as per usual. And when you get to the end, if you can save the recording as an MP3 file, that would be really, really helpful. So if you've taken a photograph of your concept map or your list, you've now either on your smartphone, tablet or on a computer created an audio, you need to then send the image and the audio to us. Now, you might be able to do that direct from your phone, but obviously I don't know if that incurs data charges that would be quite large for you. I suppose that depends on the way that your phone bill is set up. Alternatively, what you can do is do one of two things. One of three things, sorry. If your audio file and your image total less than 10 megabytes in size, so if we just go back to here, I'll start a new slide. So once you've created your information, then in terms of sort of sending us your image and voice recording, okay, you can do it in one of three ways. If less than 10 megabytes in size, which it might be, okay, because your voice recordings should never be more than about 5 minutes long, then you should be able to email your image and your voice recording to us, absolutely no problem whatsoever. If it gets larger than 10 megabytes in size, one way you can do it is by using something called Dropbox. Now, the way that Dropbox works is that you... Sorry, I just need to open this up. Dropbox is a file sharing system. I'll just sort of sign out of mine for now. And when you go to Dropbox, dropbox.com, it asks you to either sign in or to create an account. If you create an account, and then once you've created that account, all you do is go in to your account. I have a whole series of sort of folders and so on obviously already. All you would need to do is perhaps create a new folder, and you could call it something like concept files or something like that. And then once you've created your folder, all you do is you open it up, and if you've downloaded the image and your audio file onto your computer, then all you do is you choose a file. I'll go into pictures here. Let's go sort of to that. So I'm uploading an image, very simple image, and once it's uploaded, you'll see there's a little chain link over here. If you click on that once, then it opens up a link to file. Right click, copy, and then paste it into an email to me, and I can then get hold of that particular image or any other file that you give me the link to. Okay. The third way of doing it, although probably the least useful one if I'm honest, is that you go to the university website. We have a similar system called FileDrop. If you go to FileDrop file sharing, the link is here, and then what it'll ask you to do is to log in. So I will log in here. Okay, you've got to give them your password. That, oh, sorry. And then all you do is you say that you want to drop off a file to somebody else, next, and then to, and then you'd put my name and email in, and then you just browse for the files on your computer, upload them, and then click on drop off files. But it can take a little while to work. So those are the three different ways in which you can drop off the files that you've created, either using your phone, using your phone, Dropbox, emailing us directly, or using FileDrop. Okay, but it's quite important that you send these through to us at the end of sessions or just after the end of sessions, because it's quite important for us to be able to understand your level of understanding, so that we can then develop subsequent sessions to meet your actual needs rather than the needs we think you've got. Okay, so when you do send them to us, if you can make sure your name is on an email or something that identifies who you are, then we know whose information we've got. I hope that's clear, and speak to you soon.